You spoke briefly on the MTP podcast about FOMED. So what exactly is FOMED?
So FOMED is acronym Free Open Access Medical Education, and it's more of a philosophy than anything. It's more of a teach. I always equate it to Hippocratic Oath. There's a small line in the Hippocratic Oath where he says, "Teach them this art if they desire to learn it without fear, covenant." Basically saying, if you love medicine and you love to teach, you should teach for the sake of teaching. Don't get paid for it. Don't do anything. Just if you're going to teach, you teach. And that's what Hippocrates did. You can still go to his tree in Greece where he would just pull up a chair or a stool or a stump or whatever he taught on, and he would just start talking, and whoever wanted to come could come. And I think that resonates really well with the social media community because everybody can be an individual teacher to their area of expertise and just share your knowledge. And that's really, as an educator, I really like that because it's one of those things where I'm going to teach because I love to teach. It just happens that I'm also a professor, but if I wasn't, I was a clinically practicing PA and I took students and I was a preceptor for students. So it's a philosophy of just teaching for the sake of teaching, and social media is great for that because you have an audience. It could be an audience of one or it could be an audience of 1 million, but whoever wants to follow you can follow you, and as long as you have a voice, somebody's going to listen. And I really enjoy that because I like to sort of be, the old adage of the professor is the sage on the stage, right? You're standing up there, everybody's watching you, and I sort of fancy myself more as a guide on the side. Like, I'm going to teach you what you need to know, but it's up to you to learn it, and it's up to you to find the materials to strengthen it. But if you have any questions along the way, I'm here to help. And that's what I like about social media is that the students, the PAs that are getting ready to recertify, they can follow me. They know that certain months are going to be certain topics, and if they're weak in a certain area, then they can get links to articles or blog posts or other podcasts that other people are doing, and it's all collated in one area. And that's the type A personality in me, is I need to have some structure in what I do and everything that I do. But that FOMED philosophy really took hold in the emergency medicine community because emergency medicine's a tough field in that you have to be a jack of all trades and in some instances have to be a master of some. And if you've never actually done a surgical airway, but you're the only provider in a small ED, you need to know how to do that. You maybe never have been taught it, but somebody on Twitter is talking about it to where you can follow them, get the tips, and then now you have your personal learning network of individuals to help you learn that skill, learn that art, whatever you need to do. And I think that's the heart of what FOMED is.
So the majority of PAs that I know use social media for personal purposes to connect with friends, which is how most of us get started anyway. But if someone was interested and wasn't as tech savvy, but they wanted to get started in FOMED, what would be some tips you'd have for them?
So the next thing is FOMED's its own hashtag. So it's hashtag FOMED. And you can really just go to whatever platform you want to use, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, whatever you have. You can type in that hashtag and you can follow that hashtag. And that will get you into who are the players that are posting a lot, who are the ones who have a really big voice, who are the ones that really resonate with you as a provider, and then you follow them. So you start real broad with the topic, and then you can hone it down to the individuals. And then, one of the things that people keep saying about social media and FOMED is that the cream typically rises to the top. The individuals who are good at it, everybody starts following them. So now you see when you click on them, followed by such and such. So now all of a sudden you say, oh, okay, this person that I really like is followed by these 10 people. Let me go see who those 10 people are. It's almost like doing a backwards literature review where you find the one good paper and then you go and you find all of their sources and now you have all of your primary sources. It's the same way. And, there's stages of social media in that you can be, the quote-unquote lurker where you don't do anything but just observe. And that's fine. You can get all of that information. You can retweet. You can repost. And then you get to the point where you are a contributor, and now you're posting links to articles, you're posting links to different podcasts, you're posting links to a whole bunch of other stuff. So now you're in that conversation, and wherever on that spectrum you want to be is fine. You'll find where your voice is and what you want to do. I get, especially at conferences like this, I'll run into people who I have no idea who they are, but they say they follow me on social media and they read everything that I post. And I find them and I look at them and they've tweeted 5 times, and that's fine. If they followed me for 3 years and have followed everything, but they don't tweet, that's okay. That's where you are, and that's what you enjoy doing. So if it's something that you think you might be interested in, just get your feet wet a little bit, see if it's something that you want to do, because if you take it to the nth degree, which is kind of where I'm at, it's a little bit of a labor of love. It takes a lot of time to do the stuff that I enjoy doing. And if that's not something that's up your alley, that's fine. You can just, you'll find somewhere in there.
You balance working clinically and a career in academics, doing a lot of teaching, and you're program director as well. How do you make time for all of your work with FOAMed and social media?
Again, type A personality, schedules, carving time out. Friday mornings at work is the time that I go through my literature review. I have a folder on my desktop called Things I Need to Read. So as I get the table of contents from journals that come in, I just take that email and dump it in that folder. And then every Friday morning, I spend about 3 or 4 hours going through all of those table of contents, clicking on the articles. Is it something that's worth tweeting? If it is, then I find whatever month it's going to go in, craft the post, save it, and then move all the way through. Saturday mornings is typically when I get up and do the stuff for the podcast, because I'm a morning person. My family is still asleep, so I will get up, make a cup of coffee, sit and do the stuff that I was going to do for the week on that Saturday morning before the weekend starts. And so you got to find the time, and you need to be a little bit flexible with it, but you have to understand that it is something that you do have to work towards. It's not something that you can really just do intermittently. Social media is a consistent presence. If you do it sporadically, it gets lost in the noise. You've really got to have a strong signal to break through if you really want to have a significant online presence.
And you're not on social media all the time. I understand from the podcast that you do use social media schedulers like Hootsuite, and
I do.
So you just load up your tweets and then and then it sends them out, right?
Yep. So I mean, that's what's nice about having the schedule, is I know that, if January is cardiovascular month, when I come across an interesting article, I put it in January month, and then when January hits, I've already got all of my tweets scheduled for. Like, I have no idea what gets posted on a day-to-day basis. I try to do at least 7A and 7P, and then I kind of break it up from there if I'm getting a lot for a particular month. But something gets posted every single day, at least twice a day. Some days it's as much as 5 or 6, depending on the stuff that I have. But at least you know that twice a day, at 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night, you're going to get something from me if you follow me.
And that's based on the particular month of that topic.
Yep. So if you go to my blog and you go to the show notes, you can actually see the month breakdown of January's cardiovascular, February is women's health, March is hematology, oncology. So that all fits into the blueprint. They follow the PANTS blueprint topics, so that everything gets folded into that, so that you can use that all year long to help study.